Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a psychic reading on Hannah Brown. Now, if you are not familiar with her, she was in the Bachelorette, she was on the Bachelor, I believe, and she's been involved in some controversy here recently because she dropped the N-word during one of her Instagram lives. She was singing a song, and there was the N-word, but what was so funny was there was also an F-word, and she never mentioned that. But she did say the N-word, and then later when fans from the live Instagram started calling her out on using that word, she kind of like apologized, but said that she didn't really know, that she didn't think that she had said it. I'm like, girl, how can you not know that you just said the N-word in the middle of a song? So I'm going to just give you the tea here because, you know, I keep it real on my channel all the time. I'm one of those psychics that tells it like it is. I honestly feel like she did it for clout because nobody is going to use the N-word and be like playing it off, especially some white girl that is from Alabama, and you know, just she had her few minutes of fame on The Bachelor, etc. Some people may, you know, be thinking I'm being a little too hard on her, but honestly, it's not okay. It's not okay for anyone that is white to use that word in any manner, because that word is a very painful word. It has a very bad connotation to it. If, you know, people that like myself that are mixed or people that are black want to say it, that's fine. But even myself, because I'm light skinned and I don't look like I'm black, I would never say that word, you know, at all. I don't like the N word at all. I think it's derogatory. It's wrong. And it goes back to our ancestors that actually were slaves and that went through mistreatment. And for her being a Southern white girl, you know, this is something that she should have not said at all. And the fact that she did like a written apology rather than a face apology to her fans and to people that follow her, I think it's a big disservice to us in the black community because of the fact that here again we see somebody that's privileged, somebody that's white, using the N-word, dropping the N-word, and nonchalantly just getting away with it and continue to have their platform and use it, you know, using their platform to be on TV and be on all these things. Like, that's not okay. And I feel like it was staged for her to stay relevant, because people that are not relevant, they tend to do whatever they can, whether it's aligning themselves with people who are relevant or to stay in the media. They will do these shock value type of videos like she did. Because again, I don't feel like this was an accident. I feel like it was very contrived. I feel like it was for her to stay relevant. And she knew exactly what it would do. It would be, the media would be spinning the stories and eating it up like if it was ice cream. So, you know, I don't believe that she's truly sorry. I feel like she owes everybody a face apology for that. In addition, you know, when I look at her, you know, the question everybody would have was, is she racist? Is she prejudiced? You know, sometimes people are not. I don't feel like she is, but I feel like on some level that some of those things may have been conditioned by some people in her family. And so I feel like she may be subconsciously conditioned when it comes to certain aspects. Like, I don't feel like she would ever gravitate towards someone that is colored or someone that is Latino, because again, she has a type, and I feel like she's looking for a rich guy to sweep her off her feet in some way. But I feel like, again, it's all about superficiality with her. I don't feel like she's a very authentic person. You know, and I have nothing against her, but I just don't feel like she's very authentic with herself. And it's going to take a lot of humbling, because again, these are the things that we see with a lot of celebrities, that they feel like they can get away with saying whatever they want, and you know, everything's going to be just fine and dandy, and people will sweep it under the rug and forget about it, and no one's going to talk about it. But the fact that she used that word, you know, on some level, it's not okay ever. And on some level, I think it was very much planned out that this would have that effect. Um, I feel like the repercussions from this, though, are going to backfire on her. And even though she's receiving press and receiving media attention, it's not going to be a good situation for her career wise going forward, because it's always going to be like a stigma, something that sticks to her. And I feel like no matter how educated she is, and if she's from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, or whatever, it doesn't matter. I see struggles, and I see potentially her involved in some kind of legal issue down the road. She's going to have her own legal issues, and I see that. And I feel like it's going to be a struggle for her financially, but she is kind of like waiting for a knight in shining armor, like somebody to rescue her. And so rather than standing in her power, I feel like she still has a lot of growing to do in that soul aspect of what she wants from a relationship, or what she wants from men in general. I feel like she's not sure of what she even wants. I feel like she has a high maintenance bar level, of what she wants, but she is intuitive. I do feel like she does have good intuition, and that can help her navigate through life and through making the right decisions. And I feel like there is a relationship coming up for her over the next 18 months. I do feel like she's going to continue to be in the headlines. But again, there's a way to be in the headlines that is positive versus something that is negative. She doesn't want to be that girl that is labeled as the one that said the N-word. But this is going to eventually pass, but people will always remember that and pull it up. And again, it can hurt her career in so many ways because of, the fact that, networks are going to look at somebody that is controversial. And if they're, they find that person maybe that has used that kind of language, they may not be inclined to give them a spot on a television show or do something, because again, they risk to lose ratings because people are not going to be happy and watching her. It would be just one demographic that watches her, not people that are offended by the way that she used, and how she used the word. Even if it was just a song, even if it was innocent, like she says, because I don't feel like if this was innocent at all. I see her being very single though, and struggling. So like she has like fears to commit, and then it goes away, and she kind of like is going to be single. So somebody's coming into her life. It is going to be like a relationship. I see this being a white guy. Again, I feel like he is very tall, athletic. He has dark brown hair, brown eyes, but he does change his hair, so it may be like a honey color. And I do feel like he's very outdoorsy, likes hiking. I feel like he's very connected to California. I feel like she will be in a relationship, but then I also feel like she's going to be single. And I feel like she's doing a thing in her relationships with men where she is self-sabotaging those relationships and not even aware that she's actually doing this. But that's what I see, and I feel like it's a continuous pattern. And so she is assessing, there's going to be a lot of assessment over the next 18 months, whether or not she will find her knight in shining armor. Is he out there? Is he coming? I really feel like she's going to struggle in her life with love, because again, she's not wanting to settle just for anyone, and no one is asking her to. But I also feel like she's not being realistic when it comes to her perfect idea of a prince, or the person who would be her forever person. None of us are perfect, and I feel like she's holding whoever is, a man coming into her life or that expresses interest in her, she kind of makes them and puts them in a box, in a category where they don't meet her expectations, or they don't make her feel a certain way, that she self-sabotages the relationship to walk away then from that and look like the victim. But in many ways, she's actually the person responsible for the reason that she's single or not in a marriage, and not with a family yet. And I feel like it's going to be still a certain period of struggle. Now, she can change this. Nothing that I'm saying is written in stone. She can change all of this and attract a soulmate and be in a married relationship and have kids and all of that good stuff, if she would make those changes in her personality, changes in her own demeanor, and be a little bit more humble. But again, I feel like some people, when they are in Hollywood or they are in TV, fame gets to them and they forget their roots and who they are. And, it's very eye opening when you get to see someone. It's very rare that you find somebody that's in the showbiz that is very authentic still to who they are and very down to earth and stay the same. There is a saying that Hollywood changes people, and I firmly believe that. And LA changes people in many ways. No shade to my listeners that are from Los Angeles. I'm not saying this is for everybody, but I'm saying mainly for people who are in a public figure or in a public level, like they have their stage, they have their large followings. It's not always the way we see it. Sure, we see her as a beautiful, blonde, or a beautiful brunette, or we see her, looking fabulous, and she has the whole shebang. But deep down at the soul level, the reason that she is not happy with whichever men come into her life, because there's been several, it's boiling down to her. She's not happy with who she is. And until she changes that and she starts gravitating more to an authentic type of place where she can still have fun with her friends and still laugh and, be that girl. Until she does that, she's going to continue to attract guys who are going to be hurt by her in some way because she is playing with people's hearts. And when you play with people's hearts, there are consequences in the future. These are karmic consequences. So I feel like she's no angel at all. I feel like she is a good person on some level, but I also feel like she has a very deceitful presence. And it's scary because I don't feel like she's a very nice person to women that would have been on The Bachelor, Bachelorette, or, her co people who, I don't know what you call that, who were her fellow contestants. Like, I feel like she has this evil side to her, this dark side that takes over, which is like a very ambitious. I want to be the center of attention. I am prettier than you, blah, blah, blah. Kind of like bitchy, really. And that's what it comes out as, and it comes across as. So I'm not buying her apology. I'm not buying the fact that, she is like sorry about this. People at her level need to be more responsible for the things that they say because they've been given a platform. And it just mind boggles me that there are people that, like herself, that are contestants on these shows that just don't care. They let it get to their head. They don't care. They say whatever they want to say, and then it's like, then they are hurt when people that are their followers or fans call them out for being narcissistic, for being racist, for being prejudiced. Because in many ways, that was a very racist remark. Even though I'm not going to label her as being a racist, it is a very racist remark. And it is a very racist word. And again, it's not okay for people that are white or very light skinned, that are not African American or mixed, to say that. And really and truly, I also feel like on the other part of this, listen to me, that black rappers and anybody that is a rapper or making these songs with these N-words need to stop. They need to stop using it because it's not okay. Even if they're using it for themselves, they're setting a tone that it's still okay to use a word that white people used millions of years, well, not millions of years, but hundreds of years ago, during slavery and during this civil rights movement. It sets a tone, and I feel like that's what this world needs. This is cleansing. The rappers, the people that are using these lyrics in their songs. I don't care if it's like it's for fun or it's because it's a song. The word itself is a very derogatory word. It's very painful, and people need to be more responsible with their vocabulary and expand their vocabulary and omit that from songs, because when you put it in a song, you're sending out a message to the people saying that it's okay to say the N-word, and it's not okay. It's not okay. And then it creates a big whirlwind when somebody like Hannah says the N word, and there's going to be consequences. So I feel like these are to be expected. I wish her all the best. I hope that she is not a racist like Spirit says. I hope that she is not, and I wish her all success in her career. But I honestly feel like she does owe everybody an apology on a very public manner. We need to see her face and see that she is truly sorry. The fact that she did this in a writing post, like writing a post on her Instagram stories without doing a video apology, it's like, how do we know that she's even, laments, she even regrets that, saying that? Or is this like just a damage control from her publicist or somebody in her management team to do damage control? Like, again, being authentic and what it boils down to. And until she does that, she's going to continue to be in the headlines, but not for good reasons. This is not a good press that she's getting for herself, even though it is making her relevant for now, for like the 15 seconds of fame that she's getting from this, and the interviews or people that are talking about her. That's like, it's an ego booster to her in so many ways. But again, it's not good. It's not good press. You never want to have press of you speaking very stupid things like this. It was a very stupid move, and I just have to say it. I have to be blunt. It was a very stupid thing to do. So that's what I see, guys, for Miss Hannah Brown. And again, I just I hope that she comes to a point in her life where she realizes that everything that she does and says has an impact not only on herself, but her family, her friends, and people that know her. Love and light to everybody. Blessings and love and light. Until next time. Bye.